What is going on, everyone? I am extremely excited because this is the first new release from Vero I've gotten in quite a while. I had bought an Hexagon Mini a little while back, but that had already been out for a little while. I also made sure to get the tamascus hardware as well. A bit more expensive, but worth it. Look at all the color in the tamascus set. And as you can notice, as I tilt it up, I am going to do a hyperlapse disassembly just so we can see the inside of the scales, because they did a great deal of weight reduction to bring this in at 2.8 ounces. It's a beautiful gentleman's knife from them. Get this out of the way. Just to go over the specs real quick. You have an overall length of just over 7 inches. The scales come in at 4. The blade is 3.3. A beautiful full-length hollow grind with that belt satin finish. M390 blade steel, and as I said, this one has the tamascus hardware that I've inserted. It just looks incredible. I mean, the sheen off the blade, it's just a beautiful, beautiful design. I've had a couple people, when I posted photographs, say if there was ever a Vero to get, this is the one. Yes, it is. I personally think Vero always creates beautiful designs. I love the uniqueness of their blade shapes, definitely stands out in the crowd. This one has incredibly smooth action. It is a front flipper, obviously a frame lock front flipper. The action is very smooth, like I said. You can open it the normal way. You can just front flip it. You can pull it back like I did just a second ago, or you can even finger roll it. Hear that snap? I mean, this thing is dialed in. The one thing I always keep forgetting with this knife, because I get so infatuated with the front flipper and the action on this knife, is that there is a normal flipper tab there, just big enough to make it comfortable. Again, super snappy, just all around a beautiful knife. As a lefty, because it does have, first of all, this is obviously a right-handed blade. It has a deep carry pocket clip, tip up. It's not reversible. But they usually do a pretty good job of providing left-handed versions along the way. But where I was going with that is you can open it with the flipper. You can open it any number of ways as a front flipper. But as a lefty, you either have, you can get your thumb in there. It's a little bit tough, but you can get your thumb in there and flip it open. Or as a righty, you have a nice, crisp, clean open with the thumb, with the fuller there. I mean, just look at the sheen on the knife. The tamascus, just an all-around beautiful, beautiful knife. I also love the fact that there's only one body screw in it. But give me a second here. I'm going to, like I said, do a hyperlapse here. Just open it up so you guys can see the inside of the scales, because I haven't seen it yet. At least I didn't pay attention to it when I put the tamascus set in. But I want to give you guys a view of the inside as well. So here we go. All right. So one thing I should have mentioned is that I was, of course, going to be using the Vortex from Vero. This is easily the best driver in my collection. I have, I think, at this point, 6 or 7 of them. The bearing system on this is just ridiculous. Never mind the bearing system, but the grip on this just makes things so much more comfortable. The way that it flares out a bit. You have these little contours that make it very comfortable if you have something that's tight. It's just all around. They've really thought of everything with this driver. Now they have God knows how many different variations. In the light version, I believe, in the blue and red and black. Just, if you guys don't have one of these drivers, you need to grab one. They're phenomenal. But getting to the whole purpose of this was to take this apart so you could see how they reduce the weight. Look at the design. Look at the work that they put into this to reduce the weight on this knife. Even the inside of the scales are beautifully done. They just put a ton of thought into this design overall. If you guys have a chance, maybe on secondary, when they have another release, or if there's some still available in whatever variation you can get, I would highly recommend grabbing one. I know it's a bit of a higher price point, but it's clear in this construction they've put a lot of time into the design and making of these knives. Like I said, it's a solid construction. But let me go ahead, put this back together. I'll show you a tiny bit of testing, and we'll get back to it. And we're back. Like I said, just a little bit of cutting, some rope cutting, just to show you guys how sharp the edge is and how solid the construction is. Hopefully that was helpful. But again, this is the Vero Engineering Lux Mini, 3.3 blade length, M390 blade steel, beautiful belt satin finish. Definitely one that you guys should consider. If there are any left in any variation, I would highly recommend that you go grab one if you still can. Also, after the testing, there's zero blade play at all. No rock, no nothing. Beautiful construction. And if I didn't also, I don't think I did this before, it's perfectly centered. Lockup is solid. Just all around a beautiful knife. Once again, the Lux Mini from Vero. Hope this was helpful, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, I will be back soon with some very cool reviews from knives I have in from new designers. But thanks again. I appreciate you guys watching. And subscribe and like if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys soon.